Hey guys, welcome back to 2G Hydroponics. Today's going to be the first video in a series of videos on my new greenhouse. Okay guys, here it is. I built this structure out of a Shelter Logic temporary garage covered in greenhouse plastic. I've raised it on a 2-foot knee wall. In total, the structure is 20 feet long by 12 feet wide and 10 feet high. Okay, so the knee wall I constructed is made out of 2x4 pressure treated lumber. Again, it's raised up 2 feet, giving the total height of this greenhouse at 10 feet. I've covered this side with screening from your screen doors. Eventually we'll be covered with a metal material to help keep the critters out. Around the back here I've created ventilation with this door, screening on the inside, plastic on the outside. On the cooler nights or early and late in the season we can close the door. But in the middle of the summer like it is now, we're just going to keep it open. To help with the ventilation above the door, I've cut out another section, again with more screening, and I put a box fan inside to pull in fresh air. Okay, so this is just a look from the inside of the greenhouse to the fan that pulls the hot air out. It's really important that you have fans on both sides of your greenhouse, one bringing in the fresh air and one pushing it out. I have them on timers, and it's attached to a switch. That when I want to keep it on, the switch just stays on and works via the timer. But if it's cooler, I can just shut it off. Now ventilation, I've found over the last couple of months in the heat, has been key to keeping your plants healthy. What I've created here is about a 4.5 foot roll-up curtain. I started with it down here at the 2-foot mark and found it just not enough. So then I raised it up this high, and this is how I roll it. I've used 1-inch electrical conduit. I've run it through the plastic, put a 90 on the end, and I use that as a handle. When it's up high in this position, I'm using this piece of PVC pipe to hold up the curtain. When I want to lower it, I'll just pull that out and it simply rolls down. If I want to keep it at the 2-foot mark, I'll just loosen up this coupling. I'll take this section out and I can lower it and keep it here. I can simply put the pipe back in and it would hold it like that. When it gets colder and I want to put it right to the ground, I'll just take that out and I can roll it right down like that. This is the roll-up curtain on the other side. This was at the original height that I started with, and eventually I'll be moving this roll-up curtain up to this height to match the other side. Okay, now that you've seen the outside of the greenhouse, let me show you what I've done inside. Okay, so what I'm doing inside is growing tomatoes using hydroponics, using a Dutch bucket system. I have my reservoir recessed into the ground here. Let's take a look inside. So I have 90 liters of hydroponic solution being recirculated with a 400 gallon an hour pump through 1/2-inch PVC pipe. I'm also using a small air pump to create air in the solution. In my main tank I have 2 4-inch air stones. Also, I'm using an overflow tank. This tank of water that I pH to 5.7 will feed down into my main reservoir when that water gets a little bit low. I'm also using an air stone in that tank. I also have 90 liters of water in this tank as well. Okay, from the tank, we're using the pump to pump out the water, again, like I said, through 1/2-inch PVC pipe, and I brought a 1/2-inch PVC line to each tomato plant, controlling it with a 1/2-inch ball valve. Okay, so once the water is brought to the bucket through the 1/2-inch pipe, it drains out another 1/2-inch pipe into a 2-inch PVC pipe, which brings all the nutrients back to the tank. One other thing I wanted to talk about was shade cloth, also very important. I don't have one yet that covers the whole greenhouse, so I have this smaller one on the outside that I'm using and a little bit of a tarp on the inside. Plants really do better with shade cloth. Okay guys, there you have it. That's my new greenhouse. Future videos, I can get in depth on some specific topics. If you want to leave me a question, I can explain certain things in a little bit more detail. Until then, thanks for watching, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.